Hi, I wanted to talk to you today about a program I created called Mom&Baby Yoga Teacher Training for Conscious Parenting. My name is Jayme Hernandez, and I'm the founder of the school Nurture Yoga Therapy. So, Mom&Baby Yoga Training is really a training to teach us how to realign with baby. Because baby is always in the present moment. We are born from this place where we're simply experiencing, where we're curious, where we're joyful, where we're naturally in love with the world. And so this training program teaches teachers how to reconnect with that within themselves. And that in turn will help mothers also reconnect with that natural part of themselves, which is that self that is, always curious, that child in us that we all have. And so the training really develops a personal practice of not the concept of being present, but the actual experience. A personal practice of what this thing we call love is. That kind of thing it's not a philosophy, it's an experience, So how can we truly get in touch with that experience? And of course, it's very practical, where we teach teachers how to find stability in mother's physical body, in the pelvic floor, in the whole body itself, because the body has, transformed over the 9 months that they were pregnant, and transformed through the birthing process, and is continuing to transform as postnatally they're in this phase where now they're taking care of baby pretty much 100% of the time, or almost at least. So it's really important that we know how to support mothers physically, support mothers mentally and emotionally, because this is, one of the biggest transitions that a woman's ever going to go through in their whole entire life. And essentially, being a mother is a full-time, lifetime job, So yoga is a practice that can allow them to practice something that's going to last them for their whole entire life. So there's also the emotional, hormonal aspect that we need to understand. This transitioning from being pregnant to now birthing baby, birthing the placenta, completely changes the hormonal system. And so through education, we can start to teach mothers, that pregnancy and giving birth, it's not an inconvenience. It's actually this massive change that the body goes through. And if we start to understand what those changes are, then we really can come from a place of education. And we can really come from a place where we can just explore ourselves and develop tools and strategies to work with essentially when we're pregnant, our hormones are the highest they'll ever be in our life. And when we birth the placenta, then they'll be at their lowest, So this idea of kind of just putting things in a box, and saying, okay, pregnancy is this, and then giving birth is this. Instead, we can start to really look at it more from a place where, what is this transformation? What is this, literal journey and movement that is going on within me as a woman, as in my body, as in my mind, as now coexisting and co-creating with this human being pretty much, 24/7. How can a mother live that life and develop this sense of presence within sort of the continuity of engagement that they need to have when you become a mother. So mothering becomes the practice. And so if we can teach mothers how to integrate the yoga practice in their everyday life, when they're feeding their baby, when their baby is crying, when they're changing their baby, when they're having an emotional breakdown, how can we educate them about how normal that is, and also offer them a space where they can process all of this, because mom and baby can seem really cute, and you have the mom and she's getting in shape, and then you have the baby, which is like, sometimes we think of them as just this cute little thing, but really, your student is your baby. And the whole class is going to be very attuned to what is going on with your baby. Because baby, in a millisecond, if we are not present, they're going to feel it. They're going to know it. So, and they're really the ones that are going to determine the flow of the class, right? Once they start feeling not at ease in the environment, they're going to express themselves. And the way they express themselves is through discomfort, through talking, through crying. And so can we develop such a presence to this from a place of understanding versus a very black and white way of seeing babies and seeing them as we are sort of the, we know what they need when they really actually know what they need and they're just trying to express it to us. So really starting to teach mothers to, clear and calm the mind. Use the body in a way that is optimal so that they don't have back pain. They're not continually exhausting themselves from, doing instead of being. Learning how to use the body, you're learning how to use the mind, you're learning how to use the breath in a way that continually optimizes the way they feel, right? Because if mothers feel good, then everybody around them feels good. That's what yoga is. It's not a separation, it's understanding the unity that we have, and taking responsibility for the energy we put out into the world, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. And so if we can start this consciousness, in what I call the heart of society, within this unit of mother and baby and father and baby, then we can start to really practice this thing we call union, where we really don't see the people around us as an other, because we are so conscious and responsible of our own physical being. We're conscious and responsible of our own mental thoughts, which affect everybody around us, whether we are conscious of that or not. And the way we use our energy, whether we're taking from people, whether we're giving that to other people, whether we are sustaining and generating our own energy, as a society, we can start to really understand and see ourselves really as one unit. And that's what yoga is teaching us. So this is why I'm, offering this training, just so that yoga teachers, they themselves can come into this experience of union, and then that can be an authentic exchange, right? It's not coming from philosophy or what your teacher said or what the book says. It's actually coming from a place where you're exchanging your actual experience. And when you're around somebody who has peace in their mind and their heart, they don't have to say anything. It's just felt. So in this training, that's what we're going to cultivate. We're going to at least find and know the tools for a teacher to generate and strengthen that within themselves. and so that they can really exchange that with mothers. And then mothers can also see themselves as the teacher, and also see baby as the teacher, right? So that's it. My name is Jayme Hernandez. If you have any more questions, please reach out to me. You can email me, you can find me. Again, my school is called Nurture Yoga Therapy. And so we give prenatal yoga teacher trainings, postnatal yoga teacher trainings, and yoga therapy teacher trainings. And all of this has been, really just a combination of my own practice, the 2 decades I've been practicing, and the thousands of mothers and babies and just human beings that I've been working with in the last, 15 or more years. And in my own life, being a mom of 2, you start to really get real about your practice, because I think, like, I thought, oh yeah, I got this down, I'm gonna be like all zen while I take care of my baby. But really what happened was I went through like anxiety, major anxiety, and so that made me realize, whatever happens before the birthing process is just going to come up stronger and more obvious than ever. So it's an opportunity for mothers to really heal, to heal what continually comes up in their life, and it's very obvious when they're pregnant, all these emotions that come up. These are things that are already been there, and when you're facing another human being, that's when all your stuff is going to really be the mirror, right? Because babies are our mirror. And so it can be really an opportunity for a mom and family to kind of get conscious of the healing that needs to happen within themselves. So it's a beautiful opportunity, and you can't really avoid it. It's like you can't hide from the fact that you're yelling at your child, or you're freaking out, or you're having a meltdown. And so it's kind of nice, because then the mirror is shown to you without you avoiding it. So that's kind of what happened to me, where yes, was practicing for at least 10 years before I had my kids. And, they really showed me, the real, healing that I needed to go through and still go through, So every day really needs to be a practice where we become more and more conscious in the continuity of our life, in the ever-presence of our life. It doesn't stop, you can't like stop being a mom, Of course you have your own moments and you have breaks, but it's this rare opportunity for mothers to really get real about all their stuff that's going on in them, and have this opportunity to know really what it is to feel peace, and know what it is to feel love, because babies are, that's what they are, they're pure love. So I'm going to end there, and so that's gives you a little taste of my approach. I keep on saying I'm going to end there, but the approach is also to adapt the practice to fit the student versus fitting the student in this, philosophy. It's really to see who's in front of you, which baby's in front of you, which mom's in front of you, what are they going through physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and have a lot of strategies and tools to offer them so that they can make it very easy to implement it into their daily life. So again, my name is Jayme Hernandez, and my school is called Nurture Yoga Therapy. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'd be very, very happy to hear from you. And whatever you're doing out there, keep up the great work, and look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks.